Video, I don't know when it was made because I'm watching it via someone else's channel by mistake. Ah, shit, it just came up in my feed. And let me see if I can get back to it. I think it's quite recent, but it's got our two favourite clowns and experts once again talking uh, uh, about people in the movement. You know, let's cut through this shit. What they're still hinting at is that there's a bunch of racists all sat waiting to pounce, and that they're out there trying. I think that's what they're getting at, trying to destroy things. That's what I'm reading between the lines, because that's it's plausible deniability then, and I'm just listening to the way they're breaking it down, and unless there's something that information they've really got that I really haven't, this is getting a bit delusional now. And this is not a video about hatred, by the way. This is a video about politics. So these people claim to stand for the truth, for the country, for politics, and they're saying that people that don't go along with some of the things that they're saying are not for the country. And this is where I have the stumbling block with the politics but when we talk about Israel, Saudi, things like that, that is politics because it's foreign politics, and it's part of, and because we know that, for instance, to be on good terms with Israel as part of safe politics in this country, that's a requirement. And we know some of the other requirements I read out from stuff the other day. These are points of contention. Now, if they were as open as they say they are, they would just entertain these things. Even if they don't agree with them, they'd entertain them, talk about them, and move on. And it's just like we did, right? We examined different things. But what they do, I've seen two tactics on here so far, is when someone brings up Israel, one of them goes into a story about his mate who says, "Oh, it's all the Jews, it's all the Jews, it's all the Jews," which had nothing to do with the question. They just, he just dodged the question by being sarky about it and trying to be funny, which he never is. But the point of it is, and I don't want to make it personal, the point of it is, he's hiding. He's not even using his politics or his rationale to get out of it. He's just refusing to answer the goddamn questions. Why? If someone asked you about Saudi, you'd be straight on it. Someone asked you about Ukraine, you'd have an opinion. Someone asked you about Russia, you'd have an opinion. Someone asked you about Ireland, you'd have an opinion. Scotland, you get my point. Even fucking Greenland. But suddenly there's a disinterest in criticising just one government in the entire world. And I don't understand it. Unless you've already taken a payment. I'm not saying that's the case, but I'm saying the one thing, if you take payment from Saudi or the other one, Israel, is that you normally, the way the Saudi does it, you assign an NDA and other things where you can't speak bad of the country once you've done something like that. And they haven't been, so I don't think so. But I'm just saying. Oh, by the way, none of that's conspiracy theory. That's just recorded information. It happens all the time. Comedians and all kinds of people sign up to these things. And then the other thing that I see is whataboutism. So someone brings up Israel to them and the effect it's having on politics and the wokeness and stuff like that. And they're also bringing up other countries, I noticed, as well, not just Israel. And the reaction was immediate whataboutism. So they say, well, Jews, and nobody mentioned Jews, but they said Israel. But there you go, Jews didn't attack London Bridge or whatever it was. Jews didn't attack this. Jews don't do terrorist bombs, basically, is what they're saying. Jews don't do grooming gangs. Well, we were talking about Israel, and that person was talking about Israel, but they've gone back to the Jews again. They say everyone else is obsessed with the Jews, but they need to keep pulling onto the Jews because that's the sympathy thing. It's a shield to hide behind, and it's wrong because it's dishonest, very dishonest. I mean, one of them says he's a Christian Zionist. So why not explain that to everybody? Why not explain exactly what that means? Why hide behind sarcasm and insults? Why don't you've got your chance there? You've been asked a question about it. You've got your chance to get on your high horse, which, let's face it, they're not frightened of doing, and explain it all. They don't. It's almost like a sheepish insult. And again, just a time out here. From my understanding, there's people that consider that some Zionists aren't even Jews, which either means that Jews consider certain types of Zionism not Jewish, or it means that they're actually not Jewish. But I think it's within the community, because it's obviously like anything. This is not about all Jews. That's just what they're trying to turn this into. This is a hardcore section, and again, like very attached to the government, But any criticism is whataboutism, so they're bringing up the violence and everything else, but that's not what they're being asked about. Nobody's saying, "Oh, Jewish people are bringing violence to our lands." No, nobody said that. They asked a question about infrastructure, government, stuff like that, and it just gets passed off as, yeah, but it's not, let's look at the stabbings and the yeah, but they're two completely different issues. Why are you conflating them? Why are you using one issue to hide behind the other? Again, tactics we would normally expect from the left. If you think this is a drama video or a hate video because of who it is, I've deliberately not named them. This is about political views. And I'm not going to ignore a load of bollocks like this when it is about political views, because these people want to win a political argument and to win political votes for a party. And if they're going to do it, they should be honest about their politics. Why is it that they will answer a question about any other country in the world, but they go all sheepish and sarcastic and pithy about one? Just one country. It doesn't make any logical sense unless there's a reason. Why the Zionism, when in terms of not the believing in a homeland for the Jews, but why? I mean, one of them even said himself he thinks it's an ethno state. It is in the hardcore eyes of people, but not in other eyes, not in the average Jewish person's eyes, I don't think. But it is in the hardcore part. And he recognizes that, but then calls everybody else racist. There's just so many things going on here. It's hard to wrap your head around. And what it says is there's just a total there's a total disconnection of intelligence, and because you're going straight for a line of defense. You're defending something, and the way it comes across, almost like defending guilt. I mean, one of them's got his head down like that. It's literally body language for the walk of shame. Even if you may believe in what you're doing, the fact that you're lying or holding something back like that can make that walk of shame happen. And you can't rely on one bit of body language to say you're certain about the truth, but there's a few things happen at the same time. You look at the videos yourself, but there's also a reddening of the face and certain other things that are just causing the walk of shame look, and certain other things as well. And the other one is over staring at something, and I'm not sure what, in an attempt to look distracted. There's some acting going on here as well. They're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with very basic questions, but they're scared to even touch them. Why? I have not accused any Jewish person of anything. I've accused the Jewish government of interfering, but I've also said that my government is ultimately responsible. But these people won't even discuss that. Why? And they said they proudly support Israel. Why? What reason? There's never a reason. It's just don't support them. Well, bully for you, but what's the reason? And what's the political reason? Because there is massive politics around this issue. Pretending there's not is just, in this day and age, it's stupidity. It's like pretending you don't know the internet's there. So you might as well normally face a subject like this. The fact that people like this are completely ignoring the subject, this is what gets people like me and others paranoid. Perhaps more than they should be at times. But is it any wonder when the simplest of questions can't be answered, and when people do the walk of shame over support for something they say they're proud of? You know, like I say, I've still got a lot to learn. But I realise now they're trying to go for the Jew hate thing, and God help them when my channel gets bigger, because we've already proven on my channel that plenty of people can talk about issues with Israel without bringing up any need to look at Jewish people as a problem or anything else. We've had Jewish people on there discussing it with us. So we've already put that myth to bed. And once we've got bigger numbers, we'll be putting it to bed in a way where people won't be able to hide from that anymore. They can hide from it at the moment, pretend they can't see it. But as we get bigger, we'll be able to have those conversations again and show that we can have all people around that table and have these discussions. Because there is something going on inside that place that even a lot of Jews know about and are not happy with. So it's a conversation that people should be having. And these chicken shits won't do it for whatever reason. But a lot of you out there will. And I'm not talking about just the people that just hate everybody for who they are. I'm talking about the people that are out there critically thinking and seeing things and just asking questions, and also wondering, like me, why some questions are being avoided when any other question is fine. It's not just avoidance. I've already explained it. I'm not going to repeat myself. So, again, it's not proof of anything other than their behaviour, and other people's behaviour is fucking strange around this. It's obviously hiding something, and it's obviously caused some embarrassment over something. So, and yet the questions, if they were just answered, would have been simple, and it would have caused no no sticky after effects. Whereas I think this is going to bite them in the ass. Tom Fury, Zero News, call it a day for now.